around us is relatable to STEM. My name is Christine Cloud O'Hare, and I am from Michigan After School Partnership, MASP. And I am one of the STEM coordinators for MASP. And just wanted to give a brief introduction. I have been both daytime and after school involved in both of those in the last 25 years. I have recently retired as an educator, and I then went to work part-time with Michigan After School Partnership to be the STEM coordinator. So I want to welcome all of you, and if you could, we just have time for a few to share. If someone would like to volunteer share what their group discussed or what items that they discussed and how they connected them to STEM, that would be fabulous. Shy individuals. Thank you.
In my group, I show here like a little handheld fan, and we talked about like how it has like the motor in it. They created a design where it can bend and fold so that you can, and strings to it where you can wear it around your neck so that it can still be functional, hands-free. And then they had to design it in a way where you can use it without hurting yourself, because obviously it's a fan with blades in the inside of it. But even with that, they made the blades like plastic, so yeah, so it doesn't hurt you and stuff like that. Someone else shared, they showed like on your desk how you have like the little magnetic holder that holds like your paper clips and stuff like that, and talked about the design of it being clear where you can see the things in the inside, and still being functional where it grabs and holds the paper clips. It can hold them up or down. Someone shared a cell phone, which is obviously still and we had a box with like card holders and stuff in it, and we talked about the design of that box and how they had to design it where you still can be able to see the cards through it, and the design of the cards making them sturdy enough, and also a glue dot roller. And we talked about just the idea of how it has to roll it, knowing how many glue dots in there, the adhesive that it took to make it, and all of those different things.
Wonderful. Those are great items and great examples. That's fabulous. Thank you. And that was Delia, is that right?
Delilah.
Delilah, sorry. Okay, Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I was checking to make sure that there wasn't someone else. I thought I had seen a hand, but we do have a short amount of time, and I do have some more things for us to go through. So I wanted to let you know what MASP is doing right now in the STEM community. We have several things actually going on, and throughout this presentation, there'll be links in the chat for you in terms of resources and places where you can go and get more information to provide STEM opportunities for your students. One of the things that MASP has done is it's reached out with Million Girl Moonshot, which is what the MGM stands for. And Million Girl Moonshot is a group that is supporting all of the United States in trying to make sure that we have 1 million girls exposed to STEM opportunities. It's a 5-year process. And in that 5 years, we're in year 3, we're about to, or 4, we're in year 4, but in year 3, they had already hit 1 million girls. So now our goal is to hit 1 million more, and we've opened it up to all groups, boys, girls, all kinds of opportunities for kids across the board to be a part of the Million Girl Moonshot. Some of the things that they focus on, and I'm going to share their website. These also will be in the chat. These links will also be in the chat, but just so that you can see their website. Here it talks about a million reasons, how they're re-imaging or imagining how people do STEM. And I wanted to share a short video with you from them about their approach. There we go.
Let's reimagine a world where some of our most brilliant, vibrant, and powerful innovators and leaders are a diverse set of empowered women in STEM. Women working to make a positive impact, and women who have the freedom to do so with no limits to their opportunities. How do we get there? It begins with a girl and her imagination. Her dream to reach the stars, solve problems, and build. She has an engineering mindset, and it's all made possible because of a powerful national initiative that sets her up for a lifetime of success. Million Girls Moonshot was created to support girls just like her to do just that through after-school and summer STEM learning with the goal of engaging 1 million more girls in STEM by 2025. In our world, her dreams are a possibility. Quality and equity are unlimited. Opportunity is everywhere. Because 80% of learning happens outside the classroom, the Million Girls Moonshot is integrating best practices into programs across all 50 states. But traditionally in STEM, girls are left out, especially girls of color and girls from low-income households. That's why we work with partners in those spaces to eliminate barriers and increase equity. Thanks to Million Girls Moonshot, summer and after-school educators are both trained and confident. Her programs are equipped with gender-inclusive tools and strategies proven effective for girls, helping to create rich and supportive STEM environments. She's given the space to experiment, explore, create, and play. She builds skills with her peers, like teamwork, resilience, and communication. And she feels fully supported by the people around her, because Million Girls Moonshot is engaged with her families and communities. Through the years, her experiences build on each other, and she discovers her STEM identity. She learns to discover solutions in her own backyard, gets to meet role models who look just like her that are making big advances and creating solutions to some of the world's biggest problems, and uses her voice to lead and inspire other girls in their STEM journey. Million Girls Moonshot sets her up for long-term success, because we're helping girls develop a lifelong sense of belonging. With your partnership, we can close the STEM gender gap, empower and uplift girls, and create a better future for all of us.
So, and that's just to give you a little bit of information on what their whole purpose is. We're doing, like we said, 1 million more girls, and working with all types of diverse populations. And some of the things that they are doing to help us with those is they're partnering us with other entities that have resources for STEM activities, STEM trainings, all kinds of things. And that's one of the things that they call is an asset package. And so if you go to the Michigan After School Partnership website, you'll see a lot of these opportunities also posted there, which are from the asset package that Million Girls Moonshot sends to us every quarter. So this particular one that I'm showing you is from January through March, and another one will come out the 1st of April. And in those asset packages, you'll see that there are trainings for mentoring. There's trainings for Black History Month, National Women's History Month, and different social opportunities. Those are just a glance at some of the opportunities and trainings that are available. Then also as you go through, you'll see other opportunities for kids. There are usually curriculum highlights, and a lot of the stuff, well, all of the stuff that they're providing through here should be free. That was one of the other partnerships that we agreed to with Million Girl Moonshot, is when we are connected with these things that they're free. So this link will also be in the chat for you to go and investigate and collect, use, share, however you wish to do. I wanted to highlight a few of the partners that we have with the Million Girl Moonshot, and then also the partnership that we have with our local right here, MySTEM or Mass Science Networks. So Acres is a coaching partner that we have, and it helps, which we're going to go through in one of their practices. We're going to go through in a few minutes, but it helps coach after school staff in how to talk to kids in a STEM mindset, basically, and asking the appropriate questions, setting up STEM activities. Instead of just giving the kids some popsicle sticks and say, hey, here, build a bridge, let's make it meaningful by asking the right questions, doing the right planning, those kinds of things. And Acres offers all of the coaching that goes along with those for after school staff. Another partner that we have is PAIR, which is, I know a lot of the 21st century programs have through their YPQA, a lot of data collection and those kinds of things. But for other groups that don't necessarily have the data collection that they're looking for, PAIR also offers tools to do some data collection, student-wise, staff-wise, and then they have programs that help walk you through what that data means. And they're another partnership that we as MASP are also using to collect information and be able to share with you in terms of what kinds of STEM that the state, the kids are all saying that we need. The third partnership that I was going to highlight too is the MySTEM network. And they are the local regional areas in Michigan that are specific to each of your regions, that are also providing professional development training. The director of that is Megan Schraben, but each area, there are 15 different regional areas. And in this particular, also shared with you, website, you'll find out where your region is. They give you some ideas of what to do and why we need to do STEM and why it's so important. They also have a toolbox like the asset package that you can use that lets you know what it connects you with mentors, it connects you with STEM training, possible areas to get supplies. So, because there are lots of supplies that have been made available to those locations for their regions. So when you get a hold of your region's your person in that region, for example, Sarah is the region of Genesee County, and she is also one that works directly with us. She has all kinds of resources, especially some of those things that have to be replenished all the time, like your paper products and those kinds of things. They are also available to talk to you about grants, and there are several, and they call it 3P, which is problem-based, project-based, place-based trainings going on. And in those trainings, there's many grants available for you to be able to get money for supplies, for training, and even being able to take your kids to different places. They have grants for field trips or bringing people into your sites for those kinds of things. So those are the three that I wanted to highlight in terms of partnership. And then we're going to talk about a couple examples from both Acres as well as from the MySTEM piece that are available for you to use, and just kind of see how they're, like in Acres case, they're coaching. So in Acres case, we talk about purposeful questions. And we talk about how that helps the kids design understanding of what they're working on. So we're going to do a quick little activity. And in the chat box, what I'd like you to do is I'm going to pull up a particular shape here, or a set of shapes. And what I want you to do is tell me which one you think is different. So we'll use this one. So the one with the emojis. Tell me which one you think is different and why. And just put that in the chat. Thank you. Yeah. Mhm. Yes, yes. So I see quite a few. Some are saying the blue one because it's blue and not yellow. The girl because she doesn't have a thumbs up, or because she's the only girl. The hat because it's the only one that has a hat. Someone said they are all different because they're all creative. But one because it's a star and the rest of them are all circle faces. So the point of doing this is for you to start seeing how everybody else comes to the table differently. When I first looked at it, it was the star because all of the rest of them were circle faces. But after talking with people and using this a couple of times, there are many different pieces that make it look different to them based on their backgrounds. And so Purposeful Questions does just that. It works on trying to help us see from the different backgrounds what people are thinking in their mind and what might bring to the table some new aspects of how to get a job or a project done. One of the other ones that I like to use too, and if you've ever been in any of my trainings before, you might have already done this one, but if you look at shape number 20, and again, just in the chat box, tell me which one you think is different and why. So one of the things when I share this particular one, especially up on a screen, it is really hard to tell that this is a basketball, but it is a basketball. It's not a chocolate piece of candy. So a lot of times people just think that the pink one is different because of the different color. But in this case too, there is one here that you can't eat, where you can eat the rest of those. Shape wise, these are all in a cylinder or circle shape, sorry, or and this one is in a square shape. Again, many different ways to take a look at this. And as you go through, there are different questions that you can start asking kids to get probing answers from them. Oh yes, I didn't even think about that. They're flat, one's flat and the others are in 3D. Absolutely. Absolutely. See, even I learned something new every time I do this. So with that, purposeful questions, there is a process. You usually have a main purpose or a main idea, whether that's your project or in this case, we were looking at shapes. And you have, for example, they are looking at different materials to design to clean dirty water. And I will show you a picture of this particular activity in a few minutes. So what you're having the kids do is you've got all of these materials and they need to design a filter to filter dirty water to make it clean. So that would be their main purpose. And there are several questions that you can get them thinking. They're they got a plan, but sometimes they don't think their plan through until they say it out loud. So some of the things that you can do to help them get through that goal and start thinking about their learning as they're doing it. Questions like, how are you thinking you might do this? Or what are there different ways? Or what other different ways can we do this? We talk about this being science talk. When they're working in groups, we want them to not say, hey, that's a stupid idea. Oh, no, I think my idea is going to work better. You want them working together. And so when you yourself start asking questions and talking in a science talk way, then that helps the kids in their groups to kind of mimic those kinds of conversations. So asking them what exactly are you trying to accomplish if it looks like they're struggling, and say, what is it that we're trying to accomplish? Or what other different ways can you do this? And can you put those ways together? Instead of just handing them the stuff and saying, here, do this. Help them start to plan and get the plan part going. Then once they're planning, you want to kind of, it is a fun activity, and STEM is always fun, and doing the activities with STEM is fun, but you want to make sure that there's learning going on and that they're going to apply it to their life elsewhere. So in that, you want to start broadening their thought process and broadening what they're thinking as they're learning. When they use their thinking out loud, it solidifies it and also often breaks a lot of misconceptions that are happening. So things like, what are you noticing happening here? What things are changing as you're going about? Or what would you change if we're doing this again? Or if you're struggling in this process and it's not working, what can you change to help make it work? What other members might be of help for you? Could you do a reach out or research that might help you with your design? There are deeper questions here. Deeper questions here for you to be able to pull out those kinds of things for your kids. Sometimes too, especially when they start to struggle, if you say, okay, help me understand where you're at here, will help them walk through their own trouble. And a lot of times they'll already solve their problems without you even having to say anything. Just asking the questions helps them. And wait time. So there was that little awkward wait time there when I asked someone to share. Leave it. There's got to be some wait time, because the kids got to have time to think through their own head, and then to know that you're like, I'm not going to tell you. You need to come up with some of these. That's the whole idea of the purposeful questions, is making them think it through and talking through what they're thinking, and helping them to understand the process that they're going through. Before I go any further on this piece, are there any questions about purposeful questions?
Will these is this PowerPoint available to us later, or should we be taking notes? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. It's being recorded, so this will be available for you later. The PowerPoint itself too, along with the links and the resources that are available. Yep. These are a list of some of the purposeful questions that I pulled off of the Acres website, but there are plenty more. There is a stockpile of them. And one of the things that our community of practice has done is also created a few of their own, and specific to certain activities that they're doing, which we've been working with the family engineering, and I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. So there is a collection of those questions. While it is good for you to come up with some of your own purposeful questions, we're not sitting here saying you need to do that. There are several available for you to use and to, use as a seed for yourself to come up with more. So that one of those websites that I sent you has all of their purposeful questions for you to use too. And there are 3 different stages of questions. So you have your beginning purposeful questions, then you have your broadening your ideas, and then deep thinking questions too that are available for you. So with the MySTEM network, we have been working with another one of our partners in our community of practice, which is on its last month for this year, has been doing the family engineering, and it is a curriculum that is full of engineering activities. There are some short ones that are quick to do, like for openers for the day, then that only take about 15-20 minutes. There are some that are meant to be quick, but will also be available to expand on, to do a half an hour kind of session with, or workshop with your kids. These are meant to do with your kids. And then there are some that take 45 minutes to several days that they build on. And it's a fabulous resource. And with the Math Science Network, if you go through some of the trainings or one of the trainings that they have, then they will give you the curriculum for free. I saw a couple questions here in the chat that I wanted to check with. Oh, yes, and we'll come back to those questions. Okay, so with these particular activities, some of the questions that we've come up with are stop and think questions, which are for the purpose of just making them, once they've done the activity, stop and think, okay, what was the purpose, or why did an engineer need to do this? And we're focusing on engineering, obviously. And different features, kind of like what I had you do this at the beginning for our breakout sessions. And with those activities and these questions, there are additional questions for each of the activities in the curriculum. I want to go back here. So one of the highlights that they talk about in terms of family engineering is that half of science is putting forth the right questions, right? And asking those types of deeper thinking pieces. And these types of questions can be used not only in your STEM fields, but in any other fields, in your language arts, music, any of those other fields. You can use these types of questions to get that deeper thinking. The family engineering was designed originally to do like, well, they call it a family engineering night, almost like the old-fashioned school fairs that we used to do. But it's focused strictly around engineering, and you can put up booths all the way around and have the families come in and on a night and do the different activities that are laid out for them. We've adapted it to being activities that we can do in the after school. And then some of our programs have then, after they've used all of those activities, then had a family engineering night and had the families come in and had the kids teach them how to do each of those activities, which has been a delight, because then the parents too start talking STEM wise and start understanding the types of questions that they need to be asking at home to focus on STEM activities also. And then there are also at the back of it a few activities to send home for families to be able to do and continue practicing STEM at home. So just to give you an overall view too of what the Million Girl Moonshot and MASP is working on, we have, like I said earlier, a community of practice. This year we have 24, and we will have one more, because the grant is for is one more year. We will have one more community of practice starting next fall. So if this is something that you would be interested in, they get all of the information firsthand up front. They get a little deeper dive into some of the resources and the curriculum that's available. They walk through every month. Once a month, they meet with me over Zoom, so you don't have to go anywhere. It's over Zoom. And they have the opportunity to ask me questions. I have office hours once a month on Zoom also. I'm available for coaching, and I'm also available to come out to the programs and see their programs. I've been to several this last 2 months, and just walking around, and they get to see me asking some of those purposeful questions. and seeing how that actually works. Some of the neat statements that I have had so far coming out of this is, wow, STEM takes a whole lot longer than it used to, because they're talking and the kids start talking to the staff. The neat other things that are coming out of this, not only are the kids getting a chance to do more STEM and digging deeper into STEM, but it creates a better relationship between the staff and the kids, because it's a fun activity and they're asking those questions and they're starting to have more conversation with each other. And once they start to have those conversations, it opens up that relationship to have other conversations and be more comfortable to talk with the staff in other aspects too. So those are some of the comments that we've heard coming out of our community of practice that's delightful. Plenty more of those, but those are some that I can share right away. I do see someone in there has said that they've also used the family engineering programs many times, and it is good. It is fabulous. It's one of my favorites. It came out about probably 12 years ago when I was with the Math Science Center Networks the first time, and it's actually a friend of mine, her and her husband were part of the people working on it from Michigan Tech. And I've loved it since it came out. And it went to Pearson, a printing company group that was sharing it. And now it's back with Michigan Tech, which is fabulous, because then that's where they're able to offer some of the stuff for us for free. Some of the regional MySTEM partnerships have kits that have all of the equipment that you need to use that. Some of them have given some away. Some of them have them at their regional locations to be able to rent. And if you get a hold of your regional person, they'll be able to let you know if they have any kits available to give you or to let you borrow. Because they're fabulous. They have all the measuring, the hard copies, all of the little cars and fans that you need to go with them. But most of the stuff from that family engineering, you can pull out of your classroom or out of, the supplies that your art supplies to use, which makes it so much easier to use. So back to the community of practice, though, we are going to be having another one. So look in about July or August is when we'll be posting for the new one. If you'd like to be a part of that, we'd love to have you on board. Like I said, we had 24 this year. We'd like to keep it right around between 24 and 30 participants. So we usually have 2 people from programs, either whether they're in the same program or whether like one is an elementary and one is a middle school. And then that way the 2 can collaborate together, which just makes it a little bit deeper training for them. Here are a few of the pictures and the activities. This particular one is the one that we were talking about, the water filter. This one we were able to do outside in the spring. This is another one which they make boats out of tin foil and they put coins on them to see how many coins they can hold up based on their design before it sinks. So these are just a couple of the highlighted activities out of that family engineering piece. The community of practice has curriculum that we offer, and whether we do the family engineering next year again, or we look at another curriculum to highlight, you'll have the training on that, like I said. Then there's office hours available, so that I'm available on Wednesdays for them to call in or just come Zoom in with me. And then I also have site visits, and I hate the title site visits because it makes it sound like it's an observation. It's not an observation. It's for me to come out and help and be able to participate. It gets me the chance to get back into the classroom because I do miss that part, and get to play with the kids and play with the adults and get some more STEM activities out there. And then the evaluation piece, we do that through PAIR, which comes back with lots of information for you. And